round number 3 for our League Challenge here at Psycho Turtle in Pico Rivera, California. Dennis, Pikachu, Ogerpon, Mimikyu. We are, again, round number 3. 2 1-1 players that we have on stream right now. Alicia Martinez and Alexis Harrison. Alicia running the Pelipper, Amoonguss, Incineroar, Urshifu, Rapid Strike, Raging Bolt, and the Calyrex Ice Rider, Terra Water as one. Clear Amulet with Glacial Lance, High Horsepower, Protect, and Trick Room. Alexis with the Ogerpon Cornerstone, Chien-Pao, Whimsicott, Raging Bolt, Golden Go with the Zamazenta, Terra Grass, Dauntless Shield, Rusted Shield, with Body Press, Heavy Slam, Wide Guard, and Protect. Alexis, pretty somewhat similar team to the one that we just saw on Oscar's team, minus, of course, the wheezing. That makes a pretty big difference. Alicia with a pretty standard Calyrex team, although with that Pelipper to provide rain, can be a nice augment. It'll be pretty useful here. Though, of course, the Wide Guard doesn't mean a whole lot either against everything except the Make It Rain and the Electro Web. Raging Bolt actually has the Electro Web as its last move on Assault Vest, not going for the Volt Switch or anything of the sort, or the Snarl. It's going Electro Web. And we get underway. Game number 1 here for round number 3. Both these players at 1-1. A win puts them somewhere on the path to making that top 4 top cut. Really really difficult making that top cut today. But championship points on the line. Lots of juice here. Alicia with the Calyrex and the Incineroar. Alexis with Chien-Pao and Zamazenta as the lead. Obviously, that Incineroar gets the immediate boost of the Intimidates on both those Pokemon. Of course, the Body Press ignores that for Zamazenta. See if Chien-Pao wants to linger around here. Could Protect just to stall out the turn and let Zamazenta get a medium-sized hit off with that Body Press. Although on the other end, of course, you can Parting Shot out with the Incineroar, potentially. Go for an early Fake Out. Yeah, Fake Out on the Zamazenta makes a lot of sense. Chien-Pao actually going for that Lash Out. Going to do great damage against the Calyrex. Not going to pick up the knockout, but very close. But Calyrex will get the Trick Room up. It's a nice augment. Problem is now for Calyrex that it is a little bit trapped by the Sucker Punch from Chien-Pao. So that great Lash Out there is going to put Calyrex in a bit of a pickle. And meanwhile, Zamazenta can kind of do whatever it wants. It can Protect, it can do what it wants. It has many options. Calyrex is going to switch out, knows it's trapped, and has to get out of there. Raging Bolt will be the swap in for Alicia. And is also going to go for that Terra. It'll be the Terra Ghost on the Incineroar. Will make it immune to Body Press, but weak against the Dark moves from Chien-Pao. Of course, more likely the Body Press targeted. Ooh, but Zamazenta went for the Protect. Nice read. And Chien-Pao did go for the Sucker Punch. Not going to cost anything, as we know that was a Will-O-Wisp aimed in the direction of the Zamazenta. So a nice turn there for Alexis. Not a whole lot of upside, but not a whole lot of downside either. And plenty of choices to make here. Plenty of options, at the very least. Zamazenta might have to swap out now, which would be unfortunate as he loses the Dauntless Shield boost, but be the only way to keep that guy standing. Although it also depends on what is there in back to support it. Zamazenta will swap out. And Golden Go will be what comes in. Of course, immune to a potential Will-O-Wisp. It's good as gold. Raging Bolt with the Thunderbolt onto the Chien-Pao. That will crit and bring it down to Focus Sash range. Another lash out from the Chen Pao into the Incineroar. Very good damage. Not going to pick up the knockout, but very, very good damage. And Golden Go, now with the opportunity, this is Rocky Helmet Golden Go, actually. Terra Normal. Very interesting stuff. It does have Nasty Plot Protect, alongside, of course, Make It Rain and Shadow Ball. So it is a setup variant. Does have the opportunity to just go for Nasty Plot here. Alexis will swap out the Chen Pao. Does have a bit of utility there at the end. Zamazenta comes back in. We'll also go for the Terra here. It's going to be the Terra Normal Golden Go. So swapping a couple of its matchups. Most relevant here, I think, is a knockoff. Yeah, it won't be taking super effective damage from the knockoff. Loses its Rocky Helmet, but does a bit of damage back in return. Snarl comes out. It will also not take super effective damage against the Snarl. And now it has the opportunity to go for that Nasty Plot. Now, +1 special attack because of the Snarl. But still kind of a dangerous spot to be in for Alicia, having to deal with this Golden Go. Or can go for the, I believe, double protect here will stall at the last turn of Trick Room. See the double protect, indeed. Haven't been keeping that close track of turns, but I think this would be the last turn of Trick Room. Would then make the Golden Go and Zamazenta duo quite a bit faster. Well, faster in general and faster than these two Pokemon for sure. Indeed, Trick Room ends. And now the struggle for Alicia. What do you do with Zamazenta threatening some medium to big damage and Golden Go threatening a pretty chunky Make It Rain against anyone who lingers? Of course, can go for a Shadow Ball as well, but a Make It Rain would finish off the Incineroar here. Body Press does some okay damage against Raging Bolt. Indeed, it is the Make It Rain. It finishes off the Incineroar. Doesn't do a ton to Raging Bolt. And lowers the special attack, so it's back down to neutral. Incineroar finally out of the way. That frees up Zamazenta a bit. It's actually Thunderbolt into the Zamazenta as the choice. I wonder if that was predicting some kind of switch or something like that, or just looking for a para. I'm not really sure what the thought process behind that was, but in any case, Pelipper will be the switch in now. I believe we've seen all 4 of Alicia's Pokemon at this point. And the problem here for Pelipper is, well, Pelipper is feeling pretty good, actually. But the problem here is that neither of these Pokemon is especially Wide Guard prone or especially weak to Rain or anything of the sort. Golden Go will still be able to pretty comfortably click Shadow Ball here. Thunderclap goes down into Zamazenta. Ooh, and it gets the critical hit. Zamazenta still gets its possibly last Body Press off, and Golden Go will finish off the Raging Bolt with a Shadow Ball. Pelipper will be able to get a hit down, but that Body Press was pretty significant and might be the breaker here. Weather Ball does come out to finish off the Zamazenta, but problem here is that Chen Pao gets to come back in now on the Calyrex. That's not even necessarily what needs to happen, as Alexis still has another Pokemon in the back. I think. My math is crazy off. Yeah, the Ogerpon's still in the back for Alexis. That is a tough spot to be in if you are Alicia, knowing that you have to be able to deal with a Chen Pao on, like, no HP, but still have to deal with a Chen Pao at the end of this turn. Or if you're even able to get out of this turn. Feels easy enough for Alexis to just click buttons at this point. Not a whole lot of downside. I believe a Ivy Cudgel onto the Pelipper should. It's Focus Sash, so it won't knock it out. Does go for that Ivy Cudgel, and does bring it down to the Focus Sash. What does Pelipper do now? Because of course, Ogerpon does have that built-in Focus Sash with Sturdy. Weather Ball will go into the Ogerpon. Does get that water damage off. Doesn't even get to the Sturdy, but problem is that's probably going to be it. Don't really see a way out of this one for Alicia. No real way to stall things out here. Ivy Cudgel going to land into the Calyrex, actually. Pick up the knockout, and the Pelipper will get picked off by the Shadow Ball and Alexis Harrison with the Game 1 victory. So Alexis will go up 1-0 after game number 1. Just well played altogether. Solid job trapping the Calyrex, getting good damage down early. Just always maintaining some threat level. Everyone keeps coming back into our back area to see Stitch. Miguel's Cat. Many people excited to see Cat. Anyways, game number 2. Obviously, Alicia with the his reasoning to switch things up. Incineroar put down a lot of pressure in that last game. Incineroar was super valuable, but ultimately did not end up getting to accomplish all that much. Raging Bolt as well had a lot of value. It's honestly the Calyrex is the one that didn't end up doing much, and you can't really not bring Calyrex to games a lot of the time. When it does do something, it really does something, but have to find the right point to bring in the Calyrex. Maybe not as a lead this time, or potentially alongside something else. Let's see what the switch up is. Of course, round number 3, both these players at 1-1. Likely going to have to be 3-1 at least to make top cut. So there's a top 4 top cut. We got like 13 masters here today. Got one more tournament of Regulation G. That'll be next weekend on the 31st of August. And then after that, on September 7th, the League Cup. First tournament of Regulation H. It is going to be super exciting. You definitely don't want to miss that. We're back. Leads for each side. For Alicia, it's going to be Calyrex Urshifu. For Alexis, it's going to be Ogerpon and Shen Pao. No Intimidate going down, which also means that there is a lot of damage out here able to be threatened by Alexis. But the question is, what is that turn 1? What does it look like? Because there was a lot that Alexis got out of turn 1 last time. And whatever happens, Chen Pao will not be a part of it. It's going to switch out. Golden Gull will be the switch in. Calyrex protects, so not going to Trick Room, not going to get that speed boost. Or the speed flip. The U-turn into the Golden Go going to do, like, probably less damage for sure than it took Pack and Rocky Helmet damage, that's for sure. It's Scarf Urshifu. So none of that, that'll block the Rocky Helmet damage or anything of the sort. It's just going to take that damage. We'll see what Alicia wants to bring in here. Incineroar would drop the attack of the Ogerpon. Pelipper would, of course, provide a couple of things, including that wide guard. And good damage with the Weather Ball. Tough choice to make. And it will indeed be the Pelipper. We'll see if this slot got targeted by anything. Ogerpon may have just decided to, yeah, went for the Ivy Cudgel into the Calyrex. So ultimately, not a whole lot that changed that turn. Calyrex is Terra Water. It might be in a pretty tough spot, this Calyrex, as a Horn Leech plus a Shadow Ball might take it down, regardless of whether it Terras or not. It's an interesting spot to be in. Calyrex is super bulky, especially with Size Rider. Got tons of HP. Might have to switch out. And there it goes. Horse gets on out of there. Incineroar comes in. Opposite of a horse. Gets the attack drop onto the Ogre Pawn, also on the Golden Go, but that doesn't matter. Pelipper goes for the Protect. If this was read by Alexis, that is the freest nasty plot of all time. Power Whip onto the Incineroar. Oh, it was Power Whip actually, it didn't have the, and it was Grass Move plus Shadow Ball. And that'll do okay damage to Incineroar, but ultimately not as impressive as you'd hope. It is Power Whip, not Horn Leech, I apologize. I didn't read close enough. Incineroar could drop to an Ivy Cudgel, potentially plus another move, but unfortunate for Alexis that she did not take advantage of a very free turn there. Alicia keeps swapping out, and it means, yeah, Alexis is going to switch out as well. Lots of switches this game. I saw a message while watching the junior Zamazenta comes in. Pelipper switches out as well. Watching the junior world championship, just saying the kids have learned balance, which I thought was very funny. That's what this is reminding me of. Incineroar goes for a fake out into the spiky shield of Ogre Pawn. It will, in fact, not be able to do anything on account of the spiky shield. 2 more turns of rain. Alicia always has to be scared of going for a Surging Strikes in case a Golden Go comes in and ruins your day. It'd be a difficult turn for Alexis. Have to decide what you can do in terms of damage to ideally get Incineroar out of there. Ogre Pawn will just switch out. And it is Golden Go coming in, so Surging Strike not going to be particularly pleasant for that Urshifu. It will be the Terra as well. It's going to be the Terra Zamazenta. And the Terra on Alicia's side as well. It's going to be the Terra Ghost Incineroar, as we saw as we were watching the screen. Because we can do that. So Terra's on both sides. This is a pretty critical turn. Surging Strikes onto the Golden Go. It will take that damage back every single every single hit of Rocky Helmet Chip. Gonna do good damage though. I don't think it's going to knock out the Golden Go, but it's going to get pretty close. Yeah, just a little bit of HP left on the Golden Go, who takes all that Rocky Helmet damage in return. Zamazenta with the body press to finish off the Urshifu. So the Urshifu out of the way. That is a nice play by Alexis. And Incineroar does get the Will-O-Wisp off onto the Zamazenta. So unfortunate to lose Zamazenta damage to the burn. We do know it gets a little, it's still able to participate, but certainly not ideal of a spot for Alexis to be in. It does also mean that a Terra Ghost Incineroar is sitting out in front of a Golden Go with Shadow Ball. It means that, honestly, Golden Go is in a fantastic spot to just hit buttons. Going to be able to pick up a knockout this turn, basically regardless of what happened. Certainly this Incineroar is absolutely out of the way, and Pelipper has to choose whether it wants to get Zamazenta. Excuse me, whether it wants to get Zamazenta. Get some big damage onto Zamazenta, excuse me, or whether it wants to finish off the Golden Go. Both are not ideal, but both have upsides and downsides. And it's going to be difficult to pick between the two here. Get the turn to start. It's going to be a heavy slam into the Incineroar. Not going to be enough to pick up the knockout, but the Shadow Ball certainly will. And the Incineroar is now out of the way. Alicia down to her last two Pokemon. So Alexis going to lose. Yeah, going to lose the Golden Go as well. Alexis still with 3 Pokemon remaining. It feels like with all the switching, you forget how much Alexis has really maintained these Pokemon. And really, really crucially, the rain is down and Pelipper can't switch back in to change it. That means that Weather Ball is basically unusable and Hurricane is now only at 70% accuracy. Very difficult spot for Alicia to be in now, as that Pelipper isn't going to provide a whole lot of value, and it means the Calyrex is under a ton of threat. Of course, if you hit your Hurricane, it's going to be pretty meaningful still, but Chien-Pao might just go for it all and try to take down this the Calyrex here. Chien-Pao with a Lash Out against the Calyrex, no Terra available. Just taking a bunch of damage. Body Slam as well, not going to pick up the knockout. 27 HP remaining. The Weather Ball just there to do a tiny bit of chip there. The basic baby Weather Ball. Let's see what Glacial Lance does here. This could be really big, but both targets survive. Not really ever going to do too much damage. It wasn't very effective on the Chien-Pao, and the Zamazenta had the defense boost. So this might be it. Calyrex, it's going to be difficult for Calyrex to get out of this turn. It really needs to pick up these knockouts, but it also really needs Pelipper to pick up the knockouts and get things out of the way for it. And in any case, you're looking at Ogerpon in the back, able to probably clean up this game by itself. Chien-Pao going for the Lash Out into the Calyrex, not going to do anything. But Zamazenta does go for the Heavy Slam into the Pelipper. It breaks Sash, that's the most important thing. Pelipper goes for the Hurricane into the Chien-Pao. It will, in fact, pick up the knockout. But the problem now is Ogerpon coming back in. Zamazenta is not going to tick down to burn anytime soon. And I believe 2 attacks here from Alexis will close this out. Two fastest Pokemon on the field belong to Alexis as well. The Ivy Cudgel picks up the knockout. And the Body Press will pick up the Calyrex as well. Alexis Harrison with the 2-0 victory in round number 3 to move to 2-1. One more round, and more likely than not, she'll be able to make it into top cut. Alicia drops down to 1-2. Interesting set there. Got to see a lot of the Chien-Pao. Chien-Pao was able to provide a lot of value there. The Golden Go got to provide a lot of value there. That's going to be an interesting choice of Mon in Regulation H. But regardless, only one round of Swiss remains. And not too many people. Only 4 people will make it into top cut. So we are really reaching crunch time.